Hey everyone, welcome back to Simply Finance TV. This is Marielle from Simply Finance, and today we have a very special guest. She is one of the women that I really look up to in the finance space, and I've actually taken up some classes that were facilitated by her, and she really amazes me and the work that she does for her industry. So I'd like to introduce you to Celeste, a trading psychology coach and the beautiful woman behind Rooting for Celeste. Hi, Celeste. Welcome to the show.
Hi! Hey Marielle, so happy to be here. Really, I'm so glad. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much. And I know you're super busy, but I really wanted you to be on the show because actually, ever since we started Simply Finance and whenever, I deal with clients, usually they really want to learn about the stock market and how to get into it, how to start trading. And I'm not a professional stock trader. I'm not a wealth manager or fund manager. And, it's sometimes hard to tell them that I can't just give you stocks to pick. It's something that you should really study for yourself. And at the same time, it's not just about the technicals. It's also a lot about your psychology and your mindset and how you do it. It's not just the technical skills. It's really if you're ready for it. And I really believe that not everyone is ready for it at the get-go, and they really need training and everything. So yeah, I'm glad you're here, and I hope that after this our viewers can get more clarity on how they could start and if they're ready for it. So before we begin, what's the simplest way you could explain stock trading to a complete beginner?
We could start with the basic now. What is stock market? Essentially, stock market is like any market. Parang it's not a joke. It's really just a market where it's a place where you can buy and sell. But ang tinda dito it is not a grocery. It's not stuff like sa supermarket. Ang tinitinda dito, stocks ng company. Ano ba yung stocks? Stocks are shares of the company. So for example, yung isang buong company, magbebenta sila ng 10% of their shares to the public. Benta nila yon sa stock market. So you can buy and sell a share of a company at the stock market. So that is the stock market. Now, after nun, meron na tayong big division. There is investing in the stock market and there is trading in the stock market. Investing in the stock market is, say for example, you really believe in a company. It doesn't matter what company that is, but you think na parang over the long run, this company will make good money, and you think kapag binili mo yung stock nila ngayon, lalaki siya in the future through capital appreciation. Meaning, binili mo kunyari ng 50 pesos, tapos sa future 100, nag-appreciate by double, by times 100. So, yun yung capital appreciation. But for traders, on another hand, essentially, buy and sell ka lang talaga ng buy and sell. It's not any different from, alam mo yung mga bumibili ng wholesale, tapos bibenta nila ng mas mataas. Parang ganun lang din ang trader. You buy it not simply because you believe in the company, but you think the price will increase. So you will buy it and you will sell it at a higher price to anyone who's willing.
Okay, so yeah, it's really
And
like
this
that.
is all done online, by the way. It's all
Yeah.
done online.
So it's really like that, no? It's either you're a long-term investor or you actually trade the market almost every day and you really have to watch it, no? So I think some people confuse the two. Could you share any misconceptions about stock trading?
Actually, that's one misconception. A lot of people think na for them to trade in the stock market, they really have to watch it. But you don't necessarily have to do that. You just have to make sure na may strategy ka. Like, parang hindi yung buy and pray. It doesn't work that way. For a lot of people, they buy and they pray na it will go up. But there's a lot of research that has to go into what stock you're about to buy. Another misconception is sugal daw ang stock market. Well, it's not gambling unless you treat it like gambling. Paano mo siya iti-treat as gambling? One, if you get inside without any prior education of yourself. I don't mean you go to school for stocks. Actually, walang ganon. You just Google. There's so many information. you just figure out, kailangan lang may strategy ka. Alam mo kung ano yung binibili mo at bakit mo siya binibili at kung ano yung strategy mo sa kanya. Essentially, hindi na sugal yun kasi may plan ka na. You have to have rules, you have to... Ang difference between gamblers and traders are gamblers don't have a rule. Traders, on the other hand, respect the risk na I may lose money here, but it's the amount of money that I can manage to lose. Parang statistics game siya.
Yeah.
Oh, in the long run, I make money pa din.
Right. Okay. Sige, that's a good misconception to point out, no, na, because for me, parang I was super apprehensive about it because I can't commit to like watching it every day, but there are ways around it as long as you have a strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sige. Let's go back a little bit. How did you end up as a stock trader and eventually a trading psychology coach?
It was a long journey. It didn't really happen overnight. I've been in the market for 6 years now.
Okay.
So in the beginning, I was just really trying to find a way to make money. So when I was younger, like almost everyone, I think nag-start tayo sa ganito kasi wala namang financial literacy being offered at schools. We're kind of set up to make mistakes first before we learn. So when I was in my early 20s and I was still working as a nurse, nakita ko na, I was so bad with handling money. Like, you cannot trust me with money at all. Tipong, pecha de peligro, wala na talaga akong pera, days bago pa magkasahod. And I was one of those girls who would take a loan at my company just so I won't resign. So parang for me, ano na yun, financial literacy ko yun. Parang hindi ako mag-resign, maglo-loan ako.
Oh my God.
So, I was really bad with money and I was aware of it. Like parang, I was aware na parang sabi ko, hindi ako marunong mag-budget, yung mga ganon. So, I decided to do something about it, of course. That's one thing is to be aware, another one is to doing something about it. So, I went to Power Books with the last few money that I have from my sahod. Pumasok ako doon, tapos I bought probably like 4 different finance books. That's when I started learning about the stock market. Mm-hmm. And doon ko nakita na parang one, I don't have to be any stock market related. Like, wala akong kailangang i-finish na course to be in stocks. 2, I don't have to have big money to get in. Akala ko I have to be like a multi-millionaire to be in the stock market. But that's not true. You can actually open an account at 1,000 pesos, 5,000 pesos. 3, I learned na I don't have to be a graduate of anything to be in the stock market. And it was I learned so many things and I decided parang, I'm gonna give this a go. So I opened an account and 1 week after opening an account, I got an email that I got accepted to work abroad as a nurse. Okay. And inside my head, I'm like, okay, this is good opportunity for me because after all, I obviously did not save enough money to have a capital to put in stocks. But even by then, na-realize ko na this could be an alternate career for me in case ayoko nang mag-nurse. So, I went abroad and while I was working as a nurse, after kong mag-duty, nag-aaral ako mag-trade. So, just like you, nag-aaral din ako sa ZFT. I was a student. Ang kaklase ko nun sila money growers. Sabay kami, we're from the same batch. Me, money growers, and another guy. And so, nag-aral ako and man, I lost so many money. So many money in the beginning. That's how it is in the stock market. Do not put a lot of money in the beginning kasi hindi mo pa alam yung ginagawa mo. So you gotta put small so you could learn from that money. So and even if you lose that money, you have the lessons. Because if you put in a lot of money, you're just gonna lose a lot of money, but the lessons are the same. I lost about 200,000 in the beginning, which is, by the way, inutang ko lang naman sa parents ko. Inutang ko siya, tapos nawala ko yung pera sa stocks, no? I remember back then, tatanong nila ako na parang, anak, kamusta na yung investment natin sa stocks? So I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Okay lang. But I actually wiped it out. Even ballooned to almost a million was doing. I kept putting in money. Like, that doesn't make
Yeah, yeah,
sense.
yeah.
You don't know what you're doing. You're already losing money and you keep putting in money. So,
Mm-mm.
but I thought that if I do, I can fast forward my financial freedom, even if I didn't necessarily have the skills and the experience yet,
Mm-mm.
which is wrong. So, I've put in so many money na I think umabot sa million na
Oh
yung
my
loss ko.
God.
Kasi at this time, may pera na ako. I mean, I
Uh-uh.
was working abroad na eh.
Yeah.
And I was trying so hard, Mariel. I was trying so hard na tipong 90% or more ng sahod ko goes straight to my stock market account.
90%. Wow.
Girl, I didn't put in for my emergency savings. Wala akong inisip.
Oh
Wala
my
akong
God.
inisip na emergency savings. I was terrible with it. And then, nung million na, I had two choices. I was like, I lost 7 figures now. I have two choices. I either quit now or I
Okay.
use this experience to teach me. Correct?
Mhm.
Right? But
Yeah.
if I quit now, everything that I learned so far goes to nothing.
waste.
Walang
Yeah.
sayang. May mga natutunan na ako. I was making progress. But if I change my strategy instead, then I might still have a shot towards my goal. So what I
Mhm.
did is I stopped adding money.
Mm-mm.
I started building my emergency fund. I got myself an
Yes.
insurance and an investment. And dahil doon, I stopped trading like I have to retire the next
Oh, I
weekend.
love that.
And it gave me so much freedom. Yeah, it gave me so much freedom to just approach the stock market only when there's an opportunity, not
Yeah.
because I'm pressured to make
Yeah.
money. So that's when things started turning around. I have my emergency 2.5 years after I got in that plane and became an OFW. I was able to resign and become a full-time trader.
Wow.
So, well, the story didn't stop there. I was being a full-time trader for a while, and I love it because I'm free. I dictate the amount of money I can make. Well, of course, it depends pa din sa market.
Mm-mm.
But wala nang ceiling yung income ko. And at the same time, now I have freedom. I have time freedom. If I don't want to trade, I don't trade. If I want to trade, I trade. If I want to travel, go ahead. It's basta may internet ako. But then I just realized, Mariana, I don't feel fulfilled anymore. And I think when you've been working as a nurse for a long time and you really see the difference you make in other people's lives instantly, like these people might be in pain, they might be crying, they're just going through a life crisis, I mean, they're in the hospital, and you're a nurse, and every day you get to make an impact like that. Every day na nakastare ka lang sa screen mo, medyo nawala yung fulfillment na ganon. And I started searching for that purpose, right? I started searching again, what is my purpose? I don't think my purpose is just to make money. And that's when I realized na parang, what made me go on as a trader? Bakit pare-pareho kami magkakaklase? And iisa lang naman yung tinuro sa amin. Bakit hindi makasabay yung iba? Bakit may mga tao na nag-quit? Bakit ganun? Iisa lang yung strategy, pero ba't iba-iba yung resulta? Then I realized that what really changed my game was all about trading psychology. And that's when I decided to zero in on trading psychology because one, it saved me, and two, it gives me purpose.
Oh my gosh. So it was like it's a long journey, no?
Yeah.
Long journey. And I think in the Philippines,
sobra.
And in the Philippines, no, you're one of the only trading psychology coaches now. That you're the only one specializing, right? Or it's a very niche. It's very a small.
Yeah,
market.
I think I'm the only.
Yeah.
It's so niche. It's so niche. I think I'm the only one. Oh.
And now you're being
parang
hired
around
by
the world. Siguro mabibilang mo lang.
Yeah. And right now, you are a trading psychology coach for a brokerage in Europe, right?
Yes, a prop firm. There is a prop firm in Europe called FTMO, and they fund the traders. They have fund managers. So I take care of the psychology aspect of their traders para they can trade at their peak state.
Galing.
It's been so long. It's such a
Galing.
long journey from the beginning.
But
From the girl na sobrang wala talaga, like I have
yeah.
zero knowledge and finance.
But ang galing nung sinabi mo na the time that it really switched for you was when you stopped chasing because you had to make bawi your losses and you fixed muna your savings, your insurances,
Yeah.
your investments, your other investments. And then when you had that parang peace of mind na,
Yeah.
you could focus more properly now with your trading and that changed everything for you. Okay, that's oh guys,
Yeah, that's true.
wag kayong magmadali. Okay, it takes a while. When you're trading for your first year, second year, sometimes it really won't be profitable agad. And there will come a point where you choose if you continue and let the lessons go to waste or you learn from the lessons and revise your strategy. Our viewers now, most of them are, yuppies or in their early 20s or are curious about how to get started. What are your tips for those who want to get started in this whole stock trading world?
Three tips. Three tips. Tip number one, open an account immediately. Like, pagkatapos mong panoorin tong video na to, open an account. For some reason, a lot of people, I mean, come on, it's what I do. So a lot of people ask me, how do I start in trading? And I would be patient and I'll tell them all about it. But for some reason, ang pinakamalaking hurdle talaga is yung pag-open ng account. Na-explain mo na lahat, tapos tatama din sila magbukas ng account. So step one, mag-open ka ng account. It takes one ID lang yan or two IDs lang yan. Tapos may papermahan ka lang kay tapos that's it. You just need 1,000 pesos or 5,000 pesos. You have an account already. I think mas mahirap pang mag-membership sa SNR. Because this one you can even do online. You can do online. You could go to the broker. Yeah, you can go to the broker house, like yung dealer broker. So there's Call Financial, there's Phil Stocks, there's AAA, there's 2Trade. Mag-research ka kung anong stock. Doon ka makaka-participate sa stock market. Okay? So hindi pwedeng ikaw mismo kayo stock market. Sa stockbroker ka mag-open ng account. So, doon ka mag-open ng account. Research mo kung magkano yung kailangan nila. Sa call, yung pinakamura, they have 1,000 and I think they have 5,000. Open an account, just one passport ba yan? Or just one or two IDs lang. Kaif lang yan. Online. Okay, may account ka na. Promise. Ganun lang kabilis. That's step one. Step two. Step 2, research. Research, my dear. Hindi pwedeng papasok ka sa isang bagay na hindi mo naman alam yung ginagawa mo pero mag-expect kang kumita. This is a professional field. Hindi porque you only needed 2 IDs, 5,000 pesos, and a signature, you're entitled to make money already. No. The effort you put in will determine the outcome that you will get. Go ahead, get out there and study. We have YouTube videos. I have YouTube videos about it at my channel called Rooting for Celeste. There is Z-Freaks Tribe if you want to learn more. We have a page called Z-Freaks Tribe. We even have a group called Trading for Rookies, as in step by step, paano mag-open ng account, paano magbasa ng chart, tinuturo yan. Nandun, free yan sa Facebook group. Aral ka muna. And third tip, do not put a lot of money first because you're bound to make mistake. Trading is a skill. No one is born a good trader. No one. Wala yung pagkalabas pa lang, tas baby ka pa lang, the best trader ka na. Walang genius trader, okay? Trading is a skill you build. So for example, if you're a sculptor and you're learning how to sculpt, you don't necessarily buy the most expensive marble immediately. You buy the cheap one first kasi you're just practicing. Malamang hindi pa magiging obra maestra yung una mong gawa. And the same thing goes for trading. When you open an account, start small because you might lose that money from the mistakes you're about to make. Mistakes are inevitable, but you have not failed until you quit. If you keep learning, you will eventually get it because the rewards in the stock market far outweigh the risk.
Oh, ayun guys, ha. So open an account, research, Go to their pages. There are so many free available resources there. And if you want to go further, they have more advanced courses. And then third is don't put a lot of money because, it takes may learning curve yan eh. So you don't want to lose all your money again. Okay, so last question, Celeste, since you're really at a place now where a lot of women especially look up to you and that you've reached that point where you could say, you're financially free and that you know what you're doing already, hindi ka nakapa-kapa. So, can you share with our viewers your top 3 tips how to handle your finances in your 20s?
So top one, think long term. Think 10 years ahead because you're going to be there 10 years ahead and you're going to thank yourself 10 years from now for thinking long term. Think long term 10 years ahead, but be fast in executing on the short term. Like, for example, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? And what kind of place does it look like? Because from there, backtrack. What moves do you have to make at this current moment para yung trajectory mo in 10 years, maaabot yun? Always think long term. Pangalawa, you have to learn to be courageous in taking control of your finances. You're in your 20s, hindi pa natin masyado naiisip, but in a decade, we will become the decision makers of the family when it comes to finances. A lot of families rise or fall depending on how the woman at home handles the finances. And that's in your shoulder. No one really tells you that, but when you're that young, you actually have to figure out how to learn how to manage your money because you don't magically have a lot of money. You must learn how to handle it first so you have a lot of money. Even if you have a lot of money and you don't know how to handle it, madaling gumastos, mauubos mo siya. So learn how to take charge of your finances because it gives you this kind of empowerment na no matter what happens to you, you know how to bounce back. And that kind of confidence will take you to so many places. And lastly, don't be afraid to risk, to experiment. Stock market world is a male-dominated industry. Probably in an entire, like in 100 traders, there's only probably about 3 female. It's sobrang konti natin, girls. But that doesn't mean no, we don't have room to be here. We actually can excel here. I've seen lady traders trade so well, maybe even better than our male counterparts. Because what matters here is your effort and your willingness to learn. It doesn't matter what gender you are. I think it's very tempting at this age to just keep spending and enjoying your money. Yeah. And I agree you should do that, but still with moderation. With moderation pa din. All your dreams, whatever it is, kahit na travel around the world pa yan, actually, kaya mo siyang magawa in sunod-sunod, kaya mo mag-travel around the world within 6 months diba? Kaya yun. Importante lang, you can afford it. Yeah. So you have to place yourself in a position where you can afford it in the future. Because you just have to be smart about your money. You don't have to be sobrang matipid, but you have to be smart about your money. The way to wealth is a yin-yang of 2 things. 1, make enough money, and 2, save enough money. Yung number 2 is important because it makes sure na walang leak yung boat mo. I want you to take much importance in point 1, increasing your cash flow. Kasi mas scalable yun. Yeah. Yung second, yung saving money, may hangganan hanggang kailan lang talaga yung isi-save mo at some point. This is really the amount of money you need to live on. You also have to remember the first part, and that's more important, I think, and it's being able to increase your cash flow. Yeah. Financial literacy isn't supposed to be torture. It's supposed to give us freedom to live the life we want in the future.
Yeah, I love what you said, especially about the importance of increasing cash flow, because I have some clients na parang it's hard to tell them that, you really have to increase your cash flow kasi hindi na natin pwede pigain yung pwede pa natin ma-save and invest kasi ang hirap you can't make piga. It's really up to a certain point. So, especially while they're young, they should really focus on increasing cash flow as well. Okay, so thank you so much, Celeste. We learned so much from you today. And that's just, I think, the tipping point, no? Parang tip of the iceberg lang into this world. So please tell our viewers how they could find you and how they could learn more from you.
Hi everyone, my name is Celeste. We're friends now, so please find me on Facebook. It's called Rooting for Celeste and Celeste, Rooting for Celeste. You'll see my videos there. There's a lot of usapang finance then, like Marielle, but I zero in more on the stock market. I train traders as well on how to trade the stock market in a page called Z Freaks Tribe, ZEEFREAKS. So this is where we train traders. And I coach traders at ftmo.com where we fund really good traders. So my scaling, yeah. If you're a beginner and you want to learn stock market, go to this group called Trading for Rookies. Trading for Rookies by ZFT will take good care of you. And yeah, do not be afraid. Take the first step. I mean, you've heard my story. You're probably not as bad as me, and even I made it. So I'm sure you will too. You just have to believe in yourself, and you need to take the first step.
Okay, so there you have it, guys. Celeste gave you so many resources on how you could start and research on your research about this. So if you ask me directly, I'm also just gonna direct you there anyway. So there you go. So again, thank you, Celeste, and thank you everyone for joining us today. If you'd like to book a free discovery call, just go to our Instagram at simplyfinanceph or our website simplyfinanceph.com. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye!